Come on in, goddesses. Join me. It is time for us to gather. Come on in, goddesses. Come on in, goddesses. You're calling on all the goddesses. Come on in. Our inspired goddess. Morning circle. Good morning. Come on, goddess. Come on in here. It is time for us to meet. What's up, goddesses? May the goddesses gather. World is better. World is better when we're together. We're working our magic. Come on in, goddesses. Oh yeah, the goddesses are here. Hello, hello. Come on in. It's time for us to continue to rise. Continue to stand in our power. Continue to bring our joy and our magic to this world. The great mother said we will not stop. Greetings. Makes me so happy to see you all here. How are you all doing? Let me just let this little part. They always try to tell us in YouTube, use this strategy or that strategy. From here on out, I'm doing Tirra strategy. I want more music it is. Yeah. I'm just getting to that place where I'm just like, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with doing anything other than what I want to do. How are you all doing? It's so good to see everybody here today. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We have one of our inspired goddess grandbabies on the way. So Minister Ocean Kimmy is, I mean, she's been a part of the community for years now, and we're just so excited that her daughter is about to deliver her first grandbaby. So I'm asking you all to hold her daughter. We'll call her Lady C. Hold her in your thoughts and say prayers for her. We'll just do that right now collectively, just giving thanks that Lady C is going to have a nice, normal, uneventful delivery where she and the baby will be healthy and just transition into this new phase with the baby being in her arms, and she get a good start at parenting. She and the baby are healthy. We're just so grateful for that. And we just want to honor Minister Ocean Kimmy, now moving into a new level of eldership as a grandmother. So excited and just, well, we already know Minister Ocean Kimmy is going to be the best grandma. And just all the family. So happy for you. Keep me posted, okay? So this is a great getting up morning. This is making my day. They at the delivery room right now. This is exciting. Welcome, everybody. I'm Tyra Omilada, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And you know, I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. You know, it's all about connecting with the feminine way. We live in a world that is hyper masculine. It's not that we don't like masculine energy. It's not that we don't like men, but doggone it, we love ourselves. And our goddess path, the feminine way, has been suppressed, oppressed, repressed. And it's time for us to tap into it, tune into it for our own health and well being. And also, the world needs us to do that. Women can't actually show up and be who they are called to be until we embrace who we are as women. And there's actually no prototype in the goddess body mind spirit community. The only thing I think is across the board is that each sister is called to be authentically who she is and to walk in her sovereignty. To me, that applies to us all. All right. I think that all women showing up as whoever you were put here to be, mwah, muy caliente. All right. So, thank you all so much for being here this morning. And what I want to do is talk about the astrology. And I also want to talk about, or just do a quick reading. My sons are coming into town, so yeah, I want to just continue. I need to make a Coca-Cola cake is what I really need to do. I need to get up and get ready for them coming. What is your morning beverage? What is your morning beverage? Mm, I'm drinking out of my Yemaya cup. And the reason I'm drinking out of her cup, I'm drinking sparkling water. What are you drinking? I would love to hear that. But the reason that I chose Yemanja for today is because I saw Moana 2. If you haven't seen Moana 2, I want to recommend that you go and see it. And, I put out a video earlier this week around me feeling like I'm moving over this hump of being in a dark night of the soul. And part of it came from me listening to some teachings around Buddha. The more I learn about Buddha, and it's like not a religion, or sort of like a religion that's not religious or whatever. And I was like, okay, when I talk about self-religion, and I don't believe you need religion. I don't have a problem with religion, but I don't feel like you need religion to have, a connection with the higher power, to be on this journey of knowing yourself and understanding yourself. Um, so I was like, okay, Buddha, and he's all about self-realization. I'll just say it that way. Um, and then, and I felt better. I was like, okay, I'm on the right path. And my biggest thing is let me have integrity and make sure I am just here as a messenger. No one has to do what I say do, right? Because of all the scammy religion and spiritual communities out there, I just want us to be sovereign and safe. And so I thought to myself, I want to go see Moana 2 because I really have gotten into looking at the first Moana. And Moana 2 was, two people had told me, you really need to go see it. And both of them were like, it's very spiritual because it brings more in their tradition and spirituality, which of course involves the ancestors or whatever. And that movie really, wow, I really think that it's such a good blueprint. It's rare that I find a movie nowadays that actually feels spiritual for me. That movie was very spiritual. So yeah, I really love it. And so I want to just honor, the sea. I want to honor my Orisha Yemaja and just, yeah, using my Yemaya cup. Also honoring that movie, the music, all of that. So, yes, yes, yes. Let's see here. Who else is here? Yes, I need to make sure whenever we get together, I will make sure I make a couple of Coca-Cola cakes for everybody. I love that. I love that. Okay, so you're having hospital apple juice for your morning beverage. I love it. Grand Horizon Sisters, how are you? Bliss, how are you? You and me both. You and me both. Oh, let me just go back up. I pulled up everybody before, but I just want to acknowledge you. Hello, Latanya. Good morning, Vivi Embroidery Queen. Good morning to the Queen Mystic Storm. Y'all be able to make sure you subscribe to her channel and check out her videos. She did one this week she did a relationship reading. If you got something going on with relationships, this is the whole point. Grand Rising Minister Ocean Kimmy, Wealth Rising Keita May, who's mini me, just had a birthday. Ashe. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Ah, yeah. Moana, if you liked the first Moana, you will adore the second Moana. That movie, wow. I was crying so much during that movie, and it wasn't necessarily sadness. It was like to have a movie reflect what I feel is me. I was like, wow, that I feel seen. I feel so seen. Just want to go on ahead and light a candle, lighting this candle to just bring in the energy, the element of fire, and also calling in the energy of the ancestors of light, Herakuti, to surround us while we are on our live stream together. Calling in the energy of also our masculine ancestors with Herakuti to surround us and protect us while we work our magic and tap into the wisdom. Just, yeah, surround us. Also, calling on my guides of the north, the south, the east, and the west, the ancient mothers. Be here with us. May the only thing that happened today be for our highest and our greatest good. Awesome. Okay, I forgot to even bring up the chart. So let's see what we're going to be doing astrologically. Sistars. I was listening to my astrologer or my astrology teacher. Let's see here. Astro. Let's see here. And he was saying there's not a lot going on astrologically, which I'm fine with. I'm good with that. There's a lot going on astrologically, but there's just not a lot of aspects this week because what are we dealing with this week, y'all? So okay, I want to pause this really quickly. So watch the first Moana. Watch the first Moana. Okay, that is a beautiful, beautiful movie. But to me, I think you should watch the first Moana. Yeah, watch the first Moana. Just start there. It's worth it. Ah, I think I watched the first one more than the babies. I can imagine. I'm there with you. Okay, Bliss is drinking coffee. I need some coffee. At least I feel like I need some coffee. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the astrology. Let's do that together. All right, so here we have December 2024. This is starting on the 15th. We had that full moon in Gemini. Oh, my goodness. How was that full moon? So, one of the reasons I like to go back and look, we're always just like, go, 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 go. And we think like what's going on today in the astrology. We want to focus on that, which is good. That's very, very good. But sometimes in order to kind of understand where are you in the cycle, because astrology is all about cycles, it's important for you to take note of what actually came up for you during that full moon. I actually have to start keeping a journal. And I used to do better with this, but I hadn't been doing it. So I said, I need to go back and look because sometimes it's just so much that's coming up. Now I can tell you I got a lot of scammy text messages and emails during this full moon time. Eesh. Wow. So that was something I thought was interesting. The other thing is, and I wrote about this in the Inspired Goddess Mighty Networks community, that I opened a business checking account 2 years ago. I don't remember if I knew what was going on. I just remember I was like, hey, I need to, it was just like a lot that I was doing around money at that time. And, I went and opened up the checking account, and the reason I remember the day I did it was because for some reason, I had this long conversation with the bank lady. She had been there for years, and, it was like she was telling me her life story. Anywho, that account has never been right. I've had easily 6 or 7 debit cards because this one charge shows up on my, it gets debited out of my account. It looks like it's through PayPal. It's a charge from Ace Hardware, which I never shop at. And it's always around the same time. And initially, I figured it out because some kind of way they would access my account. And then I made it so that the only way someone could access my account was I would have to I made it so that I would have to give the go ahead through a text message. And so that slowed it down, but then still some kind of way, every debit card I get, this charge shows up on my account. And so these last few months to stop it, I just keep my debit card locked. And I was paying some bills, and it's kind of like if I use my debit card, I have to leave it unlocked and wait for the actual charge to show up. Otherwise, it may not go through, even though the authorization was there. Um, and sure enough, it showed up, and I'm just done. I'm done. I'm getting rid of that checking account. The people at the bank think that it's me, and I'm just like, y'all are crazy if y'all think I'm sticking with this. And I was like, you know what? I need to see what was there a Mercury retrograde during that time? And sure enough, it was Mercury retrograde in Gemini, day of. And one of the reasons, I mentioned the scamminess of the full moon is because Gemini is a mutable sign. Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, those are mutable signs. And when there's high mutability, then oh, y'all, hold on one second. I'm gonna turn on some music. My dog is outside and I need to go get him. It just started raining. One second, I'll be right back. Let me put something good on for y'all. I'll turn this on. Oh my God. Why is this not playing? Am I here? A minute. Oh my god. Um, I'm back. Sorry, about that, y'all. Let me figure out how to get this screen back to normal. It was like all of a sudden, let me know if y'all can hear me. All of a sudden, oh, good, y'all did hear the music. Good, good, good. Hey, Shannon, how are you? Um, yeah, it was like all of a sudden this big cloud came through. So I'm glad y'all heard the music because I forgot I muted it, and then I was like, "Can they hear the music?" Okay. I keep all my cards locked until use and not much on them. Yeah, it's way too much mystery going on. Yep. Woo. Let me take those off for a minute. Grand Awakening, how are you? Ah, ooh, man, this mouse, we still struggling a little bit. Sorry about that, Queen. Yeah, it was a tough full moon. It was a tough full moon. I did a healing Reiki session for one of my group recovery members and myself. Awesome. She had a really major back surgery on the full moon. And worked on my website. You worked on your website. Nice. My apologies. So, yes, so I said I have got to move on from that checking account, but it was just so fascinating to me that it was the full moon in Gemini. Mercury had retrograded in Gemini. And of course, on the day of the full moon, Mercury went direct. Whoa! I got something for y'all on that. We getting ready to uh we getting ready to do something. Mercury went. Ooh, I didn't realize it was still playing. Oh, okay. Y'all couldn't hear it. Okay. For Mercury going direct, we offer applause. For Mercury going direct, we offer applause. And so, yeah, I just thought that was so interesting. So, this is one of the reasons why it's so important to look at what came up during that full moon. Was it a conversation? Did you get some ideas? Was there something that shifted for you? And that was something else. I was watching the movie about the Buddha, and, it was the day before, but watching that movie about the Buddha, it helped to give me some enlightenment. For me, Gemini is on a house that has to do with deep spirituality. It's a little bit of a not a little bit, it is the house of crisis. And, it's like this it's the dark night of the soul house. And so to get that awakening during that time, I want you to really pay attention. Um, I think that one of the things that I wanna emphasize is just how important it is for us to, just deepen our connection to wisdom and spirituality and, all of that kinda thing, and part of the way we use astrology to do that is we're taking note of what's actually coming up during that time. So, yeah. How was that for you? Now, Mercury went direct also on the 15th. And so with Mercury going direct, that was in Gemini. So it kind of for me was a little bit of they both were complementing each other because Sagittarius, where Mercury was retrograde, is all about getting perspective. It's about seeing the bigger picture. And when we're still in the energy of that full moon. So, it's like we're in the energy of it more intensely right now, but we're in the waning part of the Gemini cycle of the moon. So, I just want y'all to understand these moons are all connected. One new moon is gonna last. Yes, we're gonna work on it for 30 days, but that moon can go out a little bit further. Mercury retrograde isn't just for, it's about 9 weeks, about 3 weeks, um, for the pre and post retrograde, and then 3 weeks for the retrograde. But that retrograde energy can last up to, as y'all can see, over 2 years. Over 2 years, May 11th, 2022. Here I figure it out. November 2024. These things actually, like, seriously, we want to understand these things continue to go. But this particular Mercury retrograde could give you some type of perspective, right? It could help you to see the big picture. It could help you to get clarity. Now, there is still a lot of fogginess that is here, but maybe it's kind of like you have a deepening of faith because Sagittarius is about faith. So you just want to take that time to really look at what was happening for you during that full moon. I would love, love, love to hear that from you all. Okay, so how do I? Let me do something real quick. There we go. Because it'll help me when I am cutting the video. Let's see here. I want to just look at everybody. Oh, Still Learning is here. Morning. How are you, Still Learning? Yes, Mercury went direct on Sunday. I dropped the promo podcast. I am learning to keep it up without judging myself. Full moon shift. Beautiful. Yes, that's perspective. That is perspective. And keep us posted so I can make sure I let people know to check you out. Maybe you can post it. I'll create a thread where people can maybe post their whatever they're promoting in the Inspired Goddess community. So you can post it there. Let's see here. Still learning. I actually studied my natal birth chart very in depth the other day and learned a lot about myself. That's a good one. I love that. That is a good one. Ah. For real, my placements have always confused me, and I never knew Astroseek had such good descriptions. That's a nice website. I like Astroseek. I don't like the ads on it, but I do love Astroseek. Okay, let's go back to looking at the astrology for the week. Okay, so yes, the 16th and the 17th, there wasn't much going on, but we have Sun square Neptune. And speaking of Astroseek, we're gonna go there. I think this is Astroseek. Um, so boom. I hate these ads so much. Okay. So Sun square Neptune. We started feeling that yesterday. Wait a minute. Where are we? Yes. Um mm. So the sun is at 27 of Sagittarius, and Neptune is at 27 of Pisces. The reason y'all saw me take a pause is right now the mutable energy is just really like I don't like it. I'm trying to make sure I just use words that I'm not calling anything in on myself. But it's very scammy energy. Now, what it could do for you though is something could happen that really pushes you into understanding the meaning of life and your purpose. Like to me watching Moana 2 yesterday, that is very Sun and Sag, Neptune and Pisces. First of all, it's a movie, and it's a movie that had meaning. It's a movie that was on the ocean largely. Um, and it's like getting lost in order to find yourself. So it might feel like you're on some journey and you're not quite sure where you're supposed to be, but maybe it's like some message will come through for you with this Sun and Neptune. Because they're very big. Neptune is big. The sign of Sagittarius is big. And so this is not like compacting anything. The sun is fiery and it brings energy. So maybe there's some action you might take, or the sun inspires. So maybe there's some inspiration that will come to you. The issue is, it's kind of like maybe there's going to be something that happens and then you get the message. And just like with me watching the movie, it's like, "Oh, okay, got it." Does it feel like everything is okay? Not really, but I now have a perspective. It was like me getting lost in that movie, and Neptune and Pisces, that's movies, right? I was able to get lost in order to get a message. So it's kind of like that. We definitely want to make sure we're not getting lost in things that are harmful to us. We have to be cautious about those kinds of things. And this could even be something that makes you overindulge a little bit. Um, but it definitely confers, it definitely it's like this energy of connecting with spirit or a higher wisdom, that kind of thing. And, let's see here, what else could it be? Belief system. Okay, so Sagittarius and Pisces, those are both signs that have to do with other cultures, and, you know, it has to do, on the one hand, it could be you wanna make a trip, you wanna get away, you wanna book a vacation somewhere because something has just gotten on your nerves, and you're like, "I'm done, I'm out. I'm getting ready to go on a trip." Or maybe you do a staycation, maybe you do a staycation. Um, it could have something to do, just kinda taking it on the collective level, a lot to do with immigration. Pisces a lot of times has to do with immigration, and, yeah, yeah. Anywho, um the reason I don't sound super positive is just because, first of all, it's mutable energy. So let me just make sure I remind you, mutable energy is changeable, it's adaptable. Now, here's another one. Mutable energy is good when you need to improve something. So you could use this to actually improve something. And it might be what needs to be improved is maybe seeing it in a new way. You've been trying things one way, sort of like what Shannon said. Okay, not gonna need to be perfect, just gonna get it done. It's just like giving yourself a different perspective so you can actually take the action. So you can improve it by seeing it in a new way, trying something new. Maybe, Sagittarius is about goals. And so maybe it's kind of like your goals need to be improved upon in some kind of way, or create some new goals. Um, it's kind of like the ones that were there, maybe not all of them were working. Let's see here. So yeah, so I do like that. You could use this transit to improve on something, but more than likely it might would be something very creative. Maybe that's like a creative solution can come your way. But the changeability and adaptability and the flexibility of mutable signs, which is a beautiful thing because so many of us, we're not even willing to be adaptable and changeable, which we're born to be. We really are born to be able to shift and change as much as we, desire. But this is a lot. This is this is a lot of changeable energy, mutable energy, because we still have Saturn meeting with Jupiter. They're only 1 degree from each other. So they are interacting, and actually Saturn is catching up back up to Jupiter. This is a lot of mutable energy. So I will say the good news I will take from this, even though I'm so resistant to all this mutable energy right now, and I'm a Pisces, but the good news is this: you can make a lot of changes. This is a time of fluidity. You want to do something new, you want to do something different, it's going to help you get there. It really, if you've been too set in your ways in some kind of way, this is your chance. Okay. So, yeah, we have that going on. And I'll even say that I think some healing can come through. I just want to believe, or even a miracle. Somebody's or somebody's will experience a miracle in the next couple of days. Maybe you've already experienced it because we did start feeling this on the 17th at the very least. I would say even the 16th, okay? And then 18th, 19th. So yeah, we'll probably feel it for 18th and the 19th also. All right. So let's see here. What did y'all have to say? Um that moon had straight chaos going in my life for 2 seconds. Mm-mm. You know, you and Gemini energy, Ocean Kimmy. Ah, I feel that, Tyra. I'm trying to ground myself as much as possible. Yeah, still learning. Let's see here. I watched the Christmas film Jingle Jangle that has mostly descendant cast, and it's just magical. Okay, I will be looking that up. So yeah, maybe use this time to look at a movie and get some inspiration from the movie. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. I like hearing myself, but it's starting to mess with how my ears feel. Mm-mm-mm. Yes. Okay, jingle jangle. You need a new approach to your family. We've become very harmful to one another. I think it's time to step back, but I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a time where maybe it's like trust your intuition, or maybe even do a reading. If you use Oracle decks, do a reading and get some guidance on what's the best thing for you to do. Or maybe there's like, you can put a message out to the universe and just say, hey, universe, give me a sign as to what I'm supposed to do. And I think that you will get one. I think it would be very helpful. Yay, money miracle. Glad to hear that. All righty. Okay, now I think I see how to do it more easily. So the next transit that we want to look at, which I like this transit a lot. Venus trine Jupiter. So a trine is one of those energies that does have to do with good fortune and opportunity, um, abundance and prosperity, growth and expansion. Those are topics that I think could definitely be bringing up. But where are they coming up? Like, how are we going to have this growth and expansion? So we have Venus over here in Aquarius. In Aquarius, first of all, I do love Aquarius right now. Sometimes Aquarius gets on my nerves. Not Aquarius is, but the energy of Aquarius. But today I'm grateful for shoot. I'm grateful for Aquarius because it's fixed energy. And so we have Pluto, Venus, and Uranus in fixed signs. The one thing about this is Aquarius is unpredictable. It's kind of like it has this energy of stability. I'm telling you, if you get an Aquarius in your life, they're gonna hang in there with you. Now they may not be super emotional and want to be all hugged up with you, but I find Aquarius is they have enduring energy. It's amazing. Um, Pluto's in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus, and but it's Uranus. Even though it's in Taurus, it's Uranus. It's unpredictable, but still, these signs do bring some energy around grounding. And honestly, where's the grounding coming from right now? To a certain degree, is coming from community, and also it's coming from being out in nature. And as much as possible, I just invite everyone to send love to Mother Earth. And every day, how can you be committed to being at one. A lot of people know about the spiritual system of Ifa. Ifa is largely about being in harmony with nature, right? So I just want to encourage you all to be as connected to Pachamama as possible. Okay, so Venus is in Uranus, and Uranus definitely is sort of like that Sagittarius energy. It is talking about I want to make some progress. And it's also very sciency. Um, if you watch, if you go watch Moana 2, to me, the young lady, there's a young lady in the movie, she makes the little boats. I'm like, that chick is an Aquarius. There's no one can tell me she's not an Aquarius. So scientific and even with Jupiter being in Gemini, it's like all this sciency mental energy. So maybe it's kind of like you're able to kind of see a concept of something. This is these are thoughts. This is logical energy. This is rational energy. This is science. Even though, Aquarius can be very conspiracy theorist, but when the other manifestation is that it is like we're going to test everything. We're going to just keep testing it out. It is a science sign, and Gemini can see all the details, or maybe that's like all this information. It really brings in this energy of thinking and thought. And I think that what it could do is like take that dream that you're getting from Neptune and the sun and see all the like how do you map it out? How do you bring something that's in the non-physical realm into the physical realm? Or let's say you're trying to problem solve, since we have all this mutable energy. This can help you to think and problem solve in a way that like brings some amazing solutions. Um It could bring up topics, like I said, around community. So it might be, you know, you want to be more in community, but it's with like-minded people. Aquarius is largely like-minded people. There's a purpose that they're together, just like the G Hive. We all are women who or feminine beings who are open to um connecting with the divine feminine, connecting with the oracles, using ancient wisdom. And we kind of want to do it in our own way, right? So this is definitely like an Aquarius type of community. So it definitely is bringing up things around community because Venus is relationship. And it's like, what kind of relationships? Where Aquarius relationships. Um, the other thing too is Aquarius is about broadcasting a message. So there you go, Shannon. It's about broadcasting a message. And Jupiter in Gemini is like speaking or it's just some kind of way you're going to be getting some type of message out. Maybe you want to use podcasting, maybe you want to use a blog, maybe you want to use social media, but it definitely could be a time where we're getting a message out, or maybe you're receiving a message from the airwaves, the radio, the podcast, something online, a blog. Maybe you are receiving this wisdom. And for those who have businesses, this could be very helpful, especially if you're well, how can you have a business and not use the internet or technology? Even people who are not doing business online, they're using their phone, that probably text messages or something like that. So that is let's see, do I want to say anything else? Okay. So I just want to take note of we have these um points. We have the south node at 2 degrees of Libra. And we have Lilith at 19 degrees of Libra. Now, they're not interacting directly with Venus and Jupiter, but we could say this is a sign-based trine. This is a lot going on in the mental realm, because all 3 of these have to do with the mind. They're air signs, and, if you ever met a Libra, they're weighing things in their mind. They're constantly weighing things in their mind, right? So that's the mental part of Libra. Um, but it is okay, so it could be something about learning and the mind, refinement, and also relationships. There's something coming up around relationships. Lilith in Libra. So maybe there is something about standing in your power in some of these relationships. Jupiter is in Gemini. What kind of relationships is that? It's siblings and um, cousins, neighbors, coworkers, friends, it's peer groups. So it could be something like that coming up. And it might be, you know, you've not really stood in your power in those groups and you're going to take your power back. Maybe you're not haven't been appreciating those groups. I just want to say relationship with self is very important. And, it's kind of like you got to stand in your power with your own self, and that's going to help you have better relationships with other people. And then we've had Libra, I mean, the South Node just draining Libra, draining all types of things about Libra, maybe throwing people off balance and draining things around relationships. It could be misconceptions. I think a lot of people don't know how to be in relationship with other people. I'm gonna be 100. We got some old, outdated stuff going on, but it's been draining all things relationships, all things balance, because Libra's about balance and harmony. And also, what else did I want to say? Refinement. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. So, anywho, these 3 air signs are all ignited. They're all working together. And so it just really brings a time, I'll say, of of being thoughtful around relationships and looking at where are the blessings, where are the opportunities in relationships, even though some of us we might need to learn some new things around relationships, and for others it might be very important for you to be standing in your power. Maybe even thinking about how just because you're in relationship with somebody doesn't mean you're going to lose your power. For some people, you have to learn that. You have to learn that um, you can be in a relationship with somebody, and there's this balance between the two, you compromising as well as you standing in your power. I hope that makes sense. Let's see here. Yes. Moana 2, I mentioned at the beginning, amazing. Amazing. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love that background. I was like, I need something nice and I need something nice. I love Aquarius energy for the most part. It reminds me of raw Wakandan philosophy and technology. Yeah, I love all the signs, but there are the things about each sign that gets on my nerves. Even my own sign. Like I don't act like we're perfect. Not at all. Ah. I am loving everyone's progress. I've had so many setbacks, but I know it's Papa Saturn making sure I have my ducks in a row. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so let us keep moving. So I would say those 2 transits together, um, we're almost done. Well, okay. Those 2 transits together can definitely bring this energy of growth and expansion this week. It's something about opening up this week. And, miracles and blessings and good fortune can abound. And on the one hand, you might need to be more flexible and mutable and changeable. Although if it sounds too good to be true, it might be too good to be true. So avoid scams. But by the same token, there is this energy of higher thinking and blessings and good fortune around connections with other people that could help you this week also. Okay. So then we're gonna oh my gosh, does that say sun in Capricorn? Oh, let me blow it up. Yes, it does. It says sun in Capricorn. Does that mean it is Capricorn season? Well, happy birthday to all the Capricorns, all the sun, moon risings. It is your season of Capricorn starting on the 21st. We are at the solstice. And what is that called, Shannon? My brain is just not on. I can kind of hear the Wheel of the Year name, the Celtic name. But anywho, yeah, we're gonna go into Capricorn season. So we're starting a whole new 90-day cycle because it's going to be Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Those three go together as the last, quadrant of the zodiac. So it's like you're starting a new season. I love Capricorn because Capricorn can help you come up with the plan and it can help you devote yourself to working hard. I know we use this as a holiday season, but uh, Capricorn is hardworking. We don't want to be Grinch, and we want to be giving and thoughtful. But uh, Capricorn is kind of like, who needs a break? Like, why? Why take any time off? Just like what Yule, that's right, Yule. Thank y'all. Uh just like Still Learning said, uh Papa Saturn is getting things decent and in order. So yes, Capricorn is that kind of season. And I think it's important for everybody to think about, what are you going to do over the next 3 months? What would you like to work on over the next 3 months? Because even if you want to be a little bit more low key, which I think everyone should be a little bit more low key, because we have Mars retrograde, we have Jupiter retrograde, and right at the top of March, Venus goes retrograde. And wait a minute, is it the top of March? I always get so confused because I know Venus goes retrograde into April also. Let me just double check, y'all. Venus goes retrograde on March 1st. Mm, and she ends her retrograde on April 12th. Okay. So, yeah, it is a good idea to be a little bit slower, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have a plan. I think that, that's just what Saturn is about. Saturn is about have a plan, work hard, get her done, because we want to be successful. So maybe that's something else you could be kind of thinking about as as the sun goes into Capricorn. And I think I talked about this at some point. I don't know, maybe it was in at the last new moon. I talked about, we have two new moons in the month of December. Now that is very rare. It's very rare to have two new moons. So this second new moon right here is, it is packing a very, very powerful punch. All right. So I just encourage you all to, as soon as that sun goes in Capricorn, we'll feel the shift. Begin to think about, what is it that you want to achieve for sure over the next 90 days. But the other thing too that I recommend is, Sagittarius has given us a vision. So make sure you see the vision for 2025 for yourself, and you use each season to move you in that direction. Now, for some people, Capricorn is an introverted season. So it might be a time of, or the quadrant of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. That might be more of a slower time for some people. You just need to understand your energy, your chart. Um, but you want to plan, like, if you know it's a slower time, like for me, I know right now is a slower time for me. I'm not trying to plan some high energy event. I'm not trying to do nothing that's high energy. So I have to plan, like, what is it that I do want to do? When I think about my higher vision, it's a slower time. How will I use this time? Who here uses 90-day blocks to plan? And it's just based on the seasons. So let me know. Do you use 90 days? And what are the benefits of using the 90 days? I love the month to month, but the month to month is, this is how astrology works. So in astrology, we have this thing called a lunar return chart. Let me pull up a lunar return chart. Is there anybody here who doesn't mind me pulling up your chart? Whose information I have? Oh, is there anybody who would want me to pull up your lunar return chart? I want to show you that. So let me tell you what a lunar return chart is. A lunar return chart is the monthly chart. You have to think about it. The moon, it has that lunar cycle, right? The sun has a yearly cycle. So we have the lunar return, which is letting us know what goes. Okay, thank you, Ocean Kimmy. We have the lunar return, which points towards um the month, and then the solar return chart is all about what is your year, right? So I like using those lunar return charts to help me to make progress on the solar return chart. So I'm going to pull up, first I'm going to pull up Ocean Kimmy's, oh shoots, I did the wrong one. I want to pull up her solar return chart. So she had a solar return on the 16th of September. It's not her actual birthday because the solar return doesn't necessarily happen specifically on your birthday when we look at the astrology. So her solar return was actually September the 16th. Her the sign on that solar return chart is Gemini. So I know that the Gemini rules her 11th house. The 11th house is something about making progress. It's something about community. It's definitely, oh, it's also about being gainful. And what else is the 11th house? Maybe there's going to be some new goals, or she's going to be hyper focused on working on her goals or something like that. Hyper focused on making more money. She might even have already started making more money, but I can imagine, hold on. Yeah. Or wanting to shift her career in some kind of way, like take it to the next level. Maybe she's going to be focused on a new position of some sort. Let's see here. Also, it could be that she is um focused on, maybe she wants to, do more coaching, or something about a relationship might be coming up for her also. I'm just interpreting this chart a little bit just so I have a little bit to work with. But let's just kind of stick with this career, making more money, just kind of like something around new goals, or a new approach to her goals, or something like that. So that's what I would look at in this chart. It's a whole lot more here, but that's how I would look at this chart. Okay. So then we're going to look at her lunar return chart. Where is it? I don't know if y'all hear the thunderstorm that we're having in Tennessee today. Okay. So now we know what she's focused on. And each month, we can look to see, let's see here. This lunar return chart started on December the 7th. So this is letting her know. So what I just told y'all about the solar return chart, that's what she's going to be focused on for the year. And so let's say she's working on something around career, or taking her goals to the next level. So I want to look and see where's her moon. Well, here, starting on December the 7th, well, I can tell you there's a focus on emphasis on something around children, or there may be some good fortune coming to her during this time from December the 7th to around January the 7th. Um, there could be some good fortune, but definitely if I were to look at her chart, I might be like, well, this might not be a month where you super focused on your career. You might be focused on your children. Or if you are focused on your career, it's some good fortune that could come your way, or maybe it's gonna be, I just know a little bit about her. Maybe this is the month where she's like, I'm ready to, get back to the business that she's been working on. Or maybe there's a surge. Maybe there people are like, "Hey, can I get some of your jewelry? Can I get some of your oil?" And that could help her to up level. Um, I will say this is kind of also accenting her 8th house. So, I don't know. This could be a month where she kind of like wanting to get booed up also. I just kinda can look and see what's going on, but I could just looking at the rest of this chart, I could tell you if she has this goal of taking her career to the next level, there's a lot here that would let her be able to, hyper focus on that. Now, the other thing is it might require her to make some changes. It might require her to make some shifts of some sort. It's kind of like, are you willing to do something new in order to go in the direction? And this month, she might be required to do something new, right? But also, I know she's having a grandbaby. So to see this fifth house thing, one of the things I would tell her is this is a month where you might be a little bit focused on your kids, i.e., her daughter. So that's how I want y'all to think about the. That's true. It's all spot on. Yeah. And so you use the monthlies to help you move in the direction of the higher wisdom. But when we go into a new um quarter, which I like looking at the quarters in terms of the seasons, so that's going to be Capricorn or Yule. Um it helps you to just it's kind of like you get this fresh new start. All right. So, yeah, I want to just offer that to you all. Use Capricorn to make some plans, uh, to figure out what is it that you need to do to be successful, to recommit and rededicate yourself. One of the things that I took away from, let me just say it this way, because I don't want to tell y'all a whole lot about it. I want y'all to go see it. Okay. So, one of the things that I get reminded of quite regularly is it does actually take hard work sometimes to get the things that you want. I know we don't want the hustle culture 24/7. That's ridiculous. At some point, the things that we want should come to us easily. Life should not be hard all the time. But we have to remind ourselves that we come from a culture that sends us mixed messages. On the one hand, if you don't work all the time, then you're lazy. And on the other hand, it's kind of like, um, microwave culture. You want everything right now. This is conflicting. So let's just get it clear. Sacrifices are required. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Sacrifices are required. In order to get what you want, you need to make a sacrifice, and it's okay. It really is. And Capricorn is that kind of energy that makes you just like, I said I was going to do XYZ, and I'm willing to give up, maybe watching TV. I'm willing to give up a little pleasure. Who watches TV? I don't. I know some people do watch TV. It's no judgment. It just cracks me up because we're always on our phone or our laptops or uh, iPads or whatever you call them, tablets. Um, but yeah, it's like I'm willing to give up doing something that's, where I'm relaxing in order to get to where I want to go. But we got to balance it out. When is your downtime? So for instance, Capricorn and Aquarius, baby, you can work hard during those seasons. And then you're just like, well, during Pisces season, I'm not doing all that. You could always designate Pisces, Cancer is a sign that wants to get some stuff done. But you can figure out what are the more luxurious times for you where you're just like, I'm taking it down. I'm not going to be working all the time. Because we do have to have that balance, right? Um, but yeah, Capricorn is like devote yourself, commit yourself to getting it done, no matter how hard it is, and you will succeed. Capricorn is all about that. So yeah. Uma's here. Hello, Uma. How are you? How are you? Uh, wow. I've decided to get my RN after years of not wanting to be a nurse anymore. I found a new motivation in nursing. Astrology works. I wasn't quite sure, but I was like, all I see is she is like, I'm ready to take it to the next level. Astrology works. Now we got to live it. We've got to live it. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. I'm happy that you have found a new motivation in nursing because I know that's important to you. You're such a good nurse already. So, yeah. Exactly. We need nurses like Minister Ocean Kimmy in nursing. And yes, my grandbaby, I've been hyper focused on. Ah. I'll be honest, Tyra. I love to work hard. I just hate it when all my hard work gets thrown back in my face violently and or stolen from me or twisted into something ugly. Yeah. Um, I think for that, where Capricorn is lacking, because for Capricorn, let's see here. I know that no, the Capricorn is not the most feeling sign. I'll put it that way. And sometimes at working hard, we may not be tuned in. We may not be reading the room. And it's kind of like read the room. How much do I need to do and how much do I not need to do? And especially for the benefit of others. And if you keep working hard and people don't appreciate you, some of it might be like, am I encroaching? I mean, I'm just being honest. Capricorn sometimes means well and they're workhorses and they can feel like people just feel like Capricorn is encroaching. It's like you bossing me around too much. Now, don't get me wrong. We know that some people feel they don't like it when somebody is working hard and they don't want to work hard because it makes them look bad. But I'm like, that's on you, right? But even with that situation, it's kind of like you read the room and pay attention to the people who appreciate you. And sometimes for Capricorns, it is about having some discussions with people. Like, what do you want me to do? Tell me specifically what do you want me to do? Because baby, I can do a lot, right? So it's kind of like Capricorns have to learn how to have conversations with people. Don't try to be saving people. And TJ, it seems like you are in your 30s at most. I might be wrong, but I feel like you're younger. And what will end up happening for you with so much Capricorn energy is that energy is going to benefit you more as you get mature. I feel like younger Capricorns are often misunderstood. But if somebody violently throws it back in your face, then it's kind of like you got to change your approach with that person or that group, right? I agree, Ocean Kimmy. Oh my gosh, being an RN will help me in the holistic field that I want to be in. I am so, so excited for you. Wow. Oh my bean, how are you? Ah, good to see you. Glad you are well. Yes, come in and get some motivation. Yes, yes, yes. Ah, yes. Your daughter-in-law? And as I speak about Capricorns, here's beautiful, powerful love. I was even thinking about her as she was coming in. I've been talking about Capricorn energy And it's just like the young Capricorns are not appreciated. But once you get older and you mature more, it's like you know how to discern better how to use that energy. Because you just get to a point where you're just like, I'm not available to help somebody. Oh, you don't want my help? First little sign, the mature Capricorns or the older Capricorns who've matured are like deuces, right? Versus the young Capricorns who just haven't learned how to really manage the energy. So I'm just giving y'all that's a pro tip. If you are under 40 and you're a Capricorn, then it just might be time for you to make sure you read the room. And as soon as you pick up, oh, these people ain't appreciating me, I'm out. I'm bouncing. Once you turn 40, it's like, the 40s, you just begin to, it's Capricorn time. Saturn Capricorn thrives in the older years. So, ah, Cappy rising. Sometimes I do too much. Exactly. Learning to step back. What do you do when what you love gets on everyone's nerves? You go find the people whose nerves it won't get on. We're in we got a lot going on in Aquarius. You go find somebody whose nerves you won't get on, right? Always reading the room because people will take advantage of that Capricorn energy. It's like, oh, she want to work like that. I'm gonna bring her in and let her work, but maybe they not paying you your worth. Um, and this is what I'm gonna say about Capricorns. I'm not a Capricorn, but I can relate to Capricorn. And Virgo. I'm gonna say this about Capricorns and Virgos. I even think maybe a little bit of Cancerians. Anyone who has a tendency towards caretaking and being the one that's like, oh, we got to make sure, the food is cooked and the dishes are washed and, just all this hard work. It makes me think about Martha and Mary in the Bible. I was having a conversation with a friend and I was like, I'm Martha. If you don't know the story in the Bible, Martha and Mary are sisters, I think. Jesus is there talking, and Mary is sitting at the feet of Jesus. Mary Magdalene, she's listening to Jesus, teach and everything, and taking her hair and, wiping his feet down with oil with her hair or whatever. Like she is all there. And Martha is up cooking and cleaning. And she's like, I'm doing all this while she's just sitting over there on the floor. And Martha got chastised. I said, you know what? Martha got chastised. She gets a bad reputation. But let Martha not be there. Let Capricorn, Virgo, Cancer not be there and just be like, deuces, I'm out. Everybody be like, well, who's gonna cook? Who's gonna clean? No one thought about all of this because we were just sitting around chilling and listening or laughing. If you wanted the more funny signs, we were just sitting around cackling. So Capricorn, I want you to feel appreciated. And sometimes you just have to go find the ones that are gonna appreciate you and then sit back. Don't do anything. You can see, I know Capricorns can see everything in Virgos. They can see everything that needs to be done and just don't do it. Be like, hey, y'all, in the past when I tried to do this, you didn't wanna, you dogged the sister out. Handle it. And I bet you there'll be more people to appreciate you. Yes, unlearning people pleasing. It's so, so important. I adore, let me take this down. I adore making people happy, but to the point of being on a pedestal or being warped out of sync or yes, or my image. Yes, that is part of it. Sounds like what you're here to unlearn or to transform, transmute, alchemize, people pleasing. And one of the ways that I have done it is it's like, well, what's my destiny? And then I work with the ancient mothers. Okay. I just got to be focused on, is my destiny happy with what I'm doing? Are the ancient mothers happy with what I'm doing? If I can't be happy and I can't be focused on myself and just being, grounded in myself and not trying to do the people pleasing, the next thing is, what's my purpose? That's the only thing I'm available for is my purpose. And I tune in with my guys, like, hey, let a sister know what you need her to do. It's you have to find out your own way of doing that. But yeah. For all the Capricorns, here's a 50 plus Capricorn sharing. No more capping stable hoe. Take that in. Take that in from your elder sister, elder mother, if she's old enough to be your mama, Barbara. Ah, yeah. I mean, you definitely have to what house is that Saturn stellium in? You've got to just stay focused on that. Oh my God, don't say it's 10th. I don't think that you're an Aries rising. I can't remember. Yes, yes, yes. I found out I have a combination of autism and ADHD. So that's going to help you a lot still learning. Once you understand that you are on the spectrum, then it helps you to, man, I'm sure you're listening to all kinds of videos because I have listened to a lot on ADHD, and it's just about learning how to manage it. It's all about managing it. Okay, third house. Yeah, you be doing a lot. That's not fun having a stellium on the third house because the third house has so much going on, but you just have to figure out how to channel it. Okay. You just have to figure out how to channel it. I love the third house. It's the house of self made wealth. It's the house of self made wealth. So that was a good that was a good lesson on Capricorn. So, okay. Let's look at Tuesday, which I should be here. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I won't be here next Wednesday. I don't think. No, I won't be here. Maybe I'll come on next Tuesday, but just in case, let's just look at this Jupiter square Saturn. So you remember I talked about that earlier. Saturn is making its way back to Jupiter. They are reconnecting again. And what's interesting about this is if you go back to 2020, Jupiter and Saturn met in Aquarius. That's really, really interesting. Jupiter and Saturn met in Aquarius on the 0 degree, on 0 degrees. Where is let me see something. Pluto right now is on that 0 degree. So that 0 degrees of Aquarius is very, very important. Pluto leaves that degree. Okay, so it'll still be there on the 24th on 0 degrees. Okay. So Pluto is on the 0 degrees. That's where Saturn and Jupiter originally met. So anytime we see them interacting with each other now, I want y'all to think about that moon cycle. So there's kind of like a time of the new moon, the crescent moon, the gibbous moon, the full moon, that kind of thing. So this is gonna be like the first quarter moon. I didn't even mention that one. It's gonna be like the first quarter moon. So there's definitely so the first quarter moon is it's like you're taking this time to reassess. That's what we have been doing a little bit in the last couple of years. And now it's time to take some action. The first quarter moon is an active phase of the moon. And so, it's not a moon cycle, it's the Saturn Jupiter cycle that we're talking about. And we're at a first quarter time of the Saturn Jupiter cycle. And I just think, without repeating myself too much from the beginning, is definitely asking you to make some to make some changes, so, to upgrade. We heard about Minister Ocean Kimmy, who now is like I still wanna be a nurse, but I wanna be an RN, and that's gonna help me do more of the natural and holistic stuff that work that I wanna do. It's like giving you an upgrade because I do remember working with her back then. She was done. She was done with being a nurse. And but she couldn't get out of it. She was having to stick with it. And so now we're at this first quarter phase of the Saturn Jupiter cycle. Again, this is why I'm like, y'all keep up with what's happening. So let's see here. Is happening now. I want y'all to pay attention to what are you being asked to change? What are you being asked to adapt? There may be some structures that you need in there because Saturn is there. And with Jupiter being there, it could be asking you to like expand yourself, get outside your comfort zone. That's a little bit of a Saturn and Jupiter, they are not the same energy. It's a little bit, contradictory. Um, it may be that the actual boundaries that you put in or the structure that you put in actually gives you more room to grow. I've noticed that for me, what's been happening is I've just been more it's like every time I have to do something in my business, it's like, okay, how can I be more organized? It's like I'm creating all this structure inside of my business, which I haven't had because I've just been flying. I've just been on the go, taking trainings and stuff like that. And so now it's like I will never grow if I don't put more structure in my business. My business is not going to make it unless I have more um like automations and more um, oh, here's a good one. Another thing with the full moon, PayPal reached out to me and they were like, "Boo, your account is frozen. We need you to give us some information about your business." I'm like, "Y'all, I've been doing business with y'all forever. Y'all just not asking me." And I am like, I am so grateful. Saturn is do what is tried and true. Now Pisces, Pisces just wants to get it done. It's like Wonder Twins, we just go morph and maybe however we got there is how we got there. I'm not saying Pisces doesn't have morals. Pisces people will have morals, but the sign Pisces and Gemini actually, these things, these signs, especially working together, it's just kind of like, however I get there. Saturn is like, no, we're following the rules. So I'm like, I'm so grateful that I had created my business structures and all that because it helped me to be able, the little bit that I did have, it helped me to be able to get my account unlocked and get my money up out of there. So you want to be thinking about that. Like, what more structure do you need? Discipline. Saturn is discipline. What more discipline do you need that would allow you to grow and expand? Um, Yeah. Wow. This is significant. And we're going to experience this one more time. I can't remember when in 2025, but they're going to meet again because right now, Jupiter is retrograde. When Jupiter moves direct, it's going to square with Saturn again. All right. So, this also could be some hard truth coming next week. I'm not gonna say it's the worst song for Christmas, but because I think last year the astrology wasn't the best, and it seemed like most people made it through Christmas pretty well. But this one could be like a hard truth coming through or something like that. So it's not necessarily fun, but it definitely could lead you to having perspective, getting some wisdom. Maybe some wisdom comes to you, but it's like something kind of hard happens in order for you to get that wisdom. All right. Um, so yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I love it, still learning. Your ancestors were all kinds of traveling brands of shaman. Alrighty. So I'm going to pull from my Mythical Goddess Tarot deck and see what do we have. And then I've been on way longer, but that's just what happens when I get on with you all. If y'all would, please like the video. That helps me so much. That helps the channel, and it's like helping the algorithm get my videos out to more goddesses like you. Okay. So the first card that I pull is the maiden. Yes, maiden of beauty. So we have Venus in operation this week. Venus is a maiden energy. So we have the maiden of beauty. This is Earth. Don't have a lot going on with Earth right now, but I love it. It can help to ground us. And it says the maiden of Earth is here to encourage you to embrace your beauty and your feelings. Honor your body's wisdom and know that you are one with Mother Nature in all her facets. And we talked about the importance of connecting with Mother Earth this week. She reminds you that your beauty shines forth as you are in harmony with the natural world and the life force. Find your earthly intuitive center and move through your world as this earth maiden does, with beauty and inner wisdom. And the Odu that comes to me, the Ifa Odu that comes to me is O'Shea. O'Shea says celebrate beauty over negativity. So it's like the invitation for you right now, in order to have that grounding and to feel centered in yourself, is where can you find the beauty in life? Of course, I'm going to say take that time to gratitude journal. That's always like a super easy way to see beauty. But I want you to see, can you see the beauty? And this is a challenge for me. So I'm going to give you a challenge. The challenge for this week is the things in your life or in the world that you do not like. Can you find the beauty in them? Can you also celebrate beauty over negativity? That is your challenge for this week. So the next card I have is this one is the fear card. It's a wind card, and we already talked about how much energy we have in air. And so, yeah, a wind card, and it's all about fear. So, what fears are needing to be faced? This is crazy. This card, I don't know if you can see right down at the bottom. You probably so tiny. Aquarius and Venus. Venus and Aquarius. Wow. I love when the oracles show me, baby, we aligned. You might be looking at astrology, but we connect. What is this one? It's number 5. I had the wrong number. Okay. This one has to do with fear. This woman embodies fear. Yes. As it begins in the mind and is held in place in the mind. The mushroom of clouds of her painful creations stalk her and torture her so that they may be faced, addressed, and released. Okay, so you see those mushroom clouds. And I can tell you, Saturn has a lot to do with fears. So maybe when we think about that Saturn interacting with Jupiter, which we're feeling now, it's just exact next week. We are feeling that right now. It definitely could be bringing your fears up so that you can release them, so that you can transcend them, transmute them, and turn them into faith, which is Jupiter. Okay. This card poses important questions. What are your fears saying to you? Are they demanding your attention by day and haunting you at night? Name your fears and meet them, lest you hide from them, and they surface when least convenient. So this is why we want to face them, so that they don't just come up when it's not convenient. Your fears are your voice, and they need to be heard and honored. Your fears are your voice and need to be heard and honored. When you listen to them and act appropriately, only then can they finally be released. So, definitely over the next week, I would even say just for the rest of the month, This is the theme. As your fears come up, what are they saying to you? Because your fears are actually part of you. They are some aspect in you that has a message for you. And the message may be, hey, I have an outmoded way of thinking. It's something that we picked up a long time ago. You have to remember, you as a human being, you are mutable energy too. Your subconscious mind allows you to shift and change as needed. If you believe something that was once limiting, you can make a decision you don't believe that way anymore. But the change happens on the inside. You want to create this from the inside out, okay? And so you can release it, you can let it go, and you can step into a more empowered way of thinking. Maybe your fears stem from a wounded part of yourself and you need to go get some therapy. You want to go to a healer or you want to do some healing work for yourself. What are your fears actually telling you? Get your cup, your morning beverage. Sit down, take a sip with your fears and say, "Look, let's do this, girl. Let's talk. Have at it. What's going on?" And I believe it'll be like you're Dorothy facing the what is he called? What's the man called? And I always think Richard Pryor. Yeah, it's like in Dorothy when she figured out that, this powerful energy, this powerful being actually was just a man behind a machine, you know? So the wizard? Yeah, the wizard. The Tyra. Yeah, she figured out the Wizard of Oz was actually not a real thing. She, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion, they all had to face their fears only to find out, oh, okay, I can handle this. I can handle this. Okay. Oh, I already read all of that. Okay. Hmm. Last card, initiation. Last card, initiation. So this is from the Major Arcana. Y'all, we just talked about Mary Magdalene earlier. Wow. She was like, "You said my name? Here I am." Mary Magdalene. Okay. Mary is here to remind you that you hold the sacred womb and doorway to life through your divine feminine essence, regardless of your gender. Her power to anoint through the rites of initiation are available to you as you remember the ancient wisdom and teachings that live in your cellular memory. Honor Mary through your reverence of your holy essence and the power of your inner high priestess, where all of creation is restored. Okay. She's called the bride of the spirit. So, oh, okay. So, yes, very important for us to remember. I really love this line here. Her power to anoint through the rites of initiation are available. So, over this next week, you may find yourself in an initiation. And what you want to do is to remember the ancient wisdom and teachings that live in your cellular memory. All right. So celebrate beauty over negativity. The link to remembering this wisdom that's in your cellular memory is through facing your fears. Perhaps it is fear that is keeping you from tapping the power within you. And so that's what you want to do over this next week. Link up with that power within you, that deep wisdom within you. Um, just, someone talked about, oh, maybe it was something else I'm thinking about, but there's a lot of people who are kind of like, I don't know who I am, or I want to know more of who I am. Well, that will come through facing your fears. All right. Facing your fears. That's what I have for you all this week in terms of the astrology. Let's see what y'all have to say. Gotta appreciate yourself first. Yes, 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 yes. Fears need to be heard and honored, not shushed. Okay. I will tune in and listen. Yeah, initially, I just want you to think about the fears will appear to be like the Wiz, and the Wizard of Oz, or the Wiz. Um, when Dorothy first went, and I think about the Wiz more than the Wizard of Oz. I don't even know when I last watched the Wizard of Oz. I always watch the Wiz. But I think about the scene when she first got in to meet the Wiz, and he was roaring at her and yelling, and Diana Ross, Dorothy is all scared, and oh my gosh, like totally in fear. And he sent her out on this journey. And when she came back, she figured out, oh my gosh, this man isn't even weird. But guess what? The power lied within her all along. All she had to do was click her heels 3 times. She had the solution all along. So the more you face your fears, it's almost like they they seem so big, but are they really? And sometimes there are real fears that we need to be thinking about, but like that's apparent. I'm talking about the ones that are living up there in your mind, rent free, rent free. And, sometimes I just feel like there is chaos happening in my head, that this runaway train track of a mind that I possess, it feels like torture. This is why mental health is like, do not sleep and play on your mental health. Take care of your mental health. 'Cause that's torture to have all that going on up there, right? But sometimes when we're in that space to really look and see, it's like, well, I am not in imminent danger. So what do I have to lose by looking at these fears? And oftentimes you will find another thought that's coming to my mind is like this little kid who thinks they're like this big monster. And it's like a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old or something, and they're like, "Roar, roar," but maybe they have a mask on, or in their mind, they think that they look that way, "Roar, roar." Sometimes when we allow ourselves to actually confront our fears, it's like looking at a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old who is like, "Roar, roar." And it's like, "Oh my gosh, this is just an aspect of myself that I just." Trauma means that something didn't happen to resolve this thing. I just need to figure out how to resolve it. How do I resolve, dissolve, absolve the trauma in me? And it starts by talking to the fearful parts of yourself, only to realize, oh, yeah, I had this fear all this time. And it actually wasn't. It's just not that big of a deal, not as much as I thought. Oh my gosh! Iya Ocean Funke, how are you? Even so late, that's right. Glad you are here. You are not late. You are right on time. We all have the power. We just have to trust ourselves fully. And I love that, Shannon, and it is so true. That is a large part of what life is about. Like, do you trust yourself? And I just want to offer to you that part of the way we stay oppressed is how much can we make them doubt themselves? How much can we make, especially women, how much can we make them not believe in themselves? And that's part of the oppression of women is we don't want women to know how powerful they are because if we know how powerful we are, then we're not going to just settle for the BS that the patriarchy or sexism, misogyny, all of that. We're just not settling for it. We just No, I'm not settling for it. I watched a video earlier this week where a lady was talking about where does patriarchy come from? I'm like, I never asked that question. It's like air to me. It's just here. And I think she might be an anthropologist, or it sounded like an anthropological take on patriarchy. But she talked about how long it's been around. Like, it's been around for a long time. And how these first laws that were set up long ago, they shift and transition to the point where you don't even realize where it originally came from, but it's baked into the laws that we have seen around women in cultures from not time memorial, but for millennia. These anti-women having their power kind of laws and the way women had to live. And it really kind of vexed my soul when she talked about how men could um, commit violent acts against their wives legally, I think until the 70s in the United States of America. And all of us know this is true because well, maybe not all of us. Some of us weren't around, but some of us, we were around and we know what we saw. And we saw these women kind of like, in a way, some of them just like, I ain't gonna say they just took it, but they definitely had to learn how to live and manage within that system. And I'm like, yeah, there's something about it. So the more we walk in our power, the more we trust ourselves, the healthier, the happier we will be. We're moving into the me cycle, according to the book, The Pendulum. We're moving into the me cycle. Baby, let it be about you. Trust you for your own good, your own well being. That's my message. That's my message. We are shown to jump at the root, to jump. We are the root cause of all the, yes, we are shown at jump. We are the root cause of all the evil in the world. If you were raised up Christian, if you can't say amen, say ouch. But it's in a lot of them. Now that I think about it, I've learned a little bit more about Islam. You couldn't pay me to be a part of that religion. You could not pay me. You all know the sins of the world are due to women. I refuse to live that way anymore. I own my body and my power. Yes. Some states it was the late 80s. Wow. So, yes, trust yourself and walk, do as much as you can to face your fears so that you can open yourself up to this great initiation of Mary Magdalene. Okay? You want to open yourself up to this initiation of Mary Magdalene, and this is opening you to this inner wisdom. She even talked about connecting to your higher priestess. We are in a time here in the Northern Hemisphere. I don't know if there's anybody watching in the Southern Hemisphere, but in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in a time where we're going into darkness more and more. We're really at that time. We'll be doing that all week long, where we have the longest night of the year. We're in the womb of darkness, and we're really able to tap into the other world. To me, when we get to these solstices and these equinoxes, the veil is very thin. And so I just want y'all to be opening yourselves up to your higher priestess or your high priestess. And, going into this initiatory period, we could see this as Yule going into this, or winter solstice going into this time of initiation. And what is initiation? New beginnings. New beginnings. Oh. Okay. So I got a little heavy, so I'm gonna do an affirmation. Oh, this is interesting. I am patient. I breathe and trust that everything is unfolding for my highest purpose. That would be that Saturn energy. I am patient. Nevada. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so that's it, sisters. That's what I have for you all. Wishing you all a wonderful rest of your week. I'll be back at some point. Um, yeah, because I want to just kind of give some wisdom about next week, but I might just make a video and I'll let y'all know. Maybe I'll go live closer to the end of the week next week. Yeah, that's what I think I'll do. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you. Again, if you don't mind, will you give the video a like? I would appreciate that greatly. Also wishing Lady C, Ocean Kimmy's daughter, a wonderful labor and delivery. Just holding space for our new or our first. Is this our first? I don't know if I've heard anybody else talk about having a grandbaby. But yeah, our grandbaby, our goddess community grandbaby coming in. He's a boy. He's a boy. I love boys so much. So yeah, just welcoming him to the world. So grateful. The world is so happy that you're coming here, little one. So thank you all so much. What are we gonna put on? Let's see here. I'm gonna put something on that I think is a little fun. I don't want to do too cerebral. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. Make sure that you figure out a game plan for using this wisdom. All right. That's why we're here. This one's a little fast. We'll do. Yes. We're gonna have a good week. Ashe. Oh.